Today on Wide Open, I'm sitting down with two women who've grown up, evolved, and loved in the public eye and have somehow managed to keep what matters most to them just for themselves. Raven-Symoné, an icon who's been on our screen since childhood, carrying generations of stories, laughter, and expectation. And Miranda Maday, the brilliant, grounded force beside her, helping shape what partnership and purpose look like when you strip away the noise. We're talking about growing up in the spotlight, healing old wounds, queerness, identity, and the work it takes to build a love that actually lasts. We'll get into what they protect, what they share, and what they've learned about sex and identity, what it really means to find love you've always dreamed of later in life when you're ready to receive it. We'll talk about their production company, the stories they want to tell next, and the beautiful gut punch moment that Raven said she wanted Miranda to live forever. Because when you finally found your person, the hardest part is knowing time isn't infinite. This one's about love, legacy, and building a life that feels like home. Let's get wide open. Raven, Miranda, thank you so much for being here today on Wide Open. How are you?
We're well, doing well, very well.
That's a loaded question right now, but at least we're here, we're alive, we're healthy, and we're enjoying this space together today. So I feel lucky.
You got to start with the good things.
We got to start with the good things before we fucking get in there and start hammering down what this political landscape actually is right now. No, I'm kidding. This is not a political podcast, but we will talk shit.
Okay, great.
That's fair.
We can do that. Politics, we kind of suck at, but talking shit, we thrive.
Yeah, we do.
Let's go.
Listen, it has been so fun to follow your journey. I love the podcast. I love your relationship. It is so genuine, so sweet. It's been really, we've never met before, and this is like new homie experience, but I do feel like I know you both just from how you show up in the world and the visibility aspect. I really appreciate. And it's a vulnerable thing these days to really live your truth. So I appreciate you both being here.
Thank you. That's so kind. We are really happy to be here. And also, same, because we've seen you and Sophia out and about in certain places, and we're always like, oh my God, hi, you guys. And I love just how you two have shared and let people in and, your entire journey, honestly, before even meeting Sophia. And so thank you for your visibility as well.
Oh, you're so sweet. We got to do a double date when we're in LA. Clearly.
That would be so great.
Could you bring that hat and just leave it with me when we do that double date? Because that shit is fire.
Guess this is going to be my new gift to you. I just got it, so I will gladly re-gift it to you when I get to LA. We're hosting a Friendsgiving, which you will have an invite, of course.
Oh my God. We're doing one so as well. Happy because we've been going back and forth about what we're going to do for the holidays, and we decided, listen, we're a married couple. We're allowed to say we get to start our own traditions now. We don't have to be like bouncing from family to family and thinking like this parent is going to be pissed. So let's do it ourselves and figure out what we want that to look like. So that's so nice to know that we have an invitation somewhere too, though.
Listen, it's going to be very gay. It's going to be very safe. We're going to talk a lot of shit because that's what we do. We're going to laugh through the chaos because what else at this point can we do?
Nothing.
But yeah, I actually I'm so aligned because, back in the day when I come from a military background. So I can only imagine what my Thanksgiving would be like walking in now and seeing if Fox News was on the TV. And I have zero filter. So that it would absolutely be a nightmare and a disaster for everyone involved because I feel like at this point I'm a wrecking ball and I just need to tell everyone how I feel.
I feel like you'd end up leaving with like mashed potatoes on your face, gravy like on your pants because there would have been a food fight.
Yeah. They're going to say, you know what? You're not welcome anymore. Get the hell out of here. And I'm like, don't worry. I moved away from Florida very quickly for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
We have those family members, too, that sit on the opposite side of the aisle, and it is a delicate dance when having those conversations. not even at family dinners. It's also a delicate dance just on an everyday, especially when
just when the phone rings.
Just when the phone rings, just when you get a quick little TikTok or an X from one of our parents, and it's just like, thanks for that information. You know, that's my community, right?
Yeah.
It's really fun. It for me, it's a masterclass in patience and empathy and letting everyone have their say and trying my best not to cuss them out.
Gosh, it's like we all struggle with the same shit. I love it. It's
Yeah,
like
sure.
you're speaking to my core right now. But I want to know how you guys how you met, how this actual, I mean, you've been married now, what, 5 years? It's been so beautiful to watch because Raven, I remember at one point you were being very private about your life. You were like, listen, I live that shit. You guys are wild. I'm out. I'm protecting my peace. And now I feel like there's been, over the years, a pretty massive shift in the best way because your visibility together has been so influential and impactful for our queer community. Like, what was that big shift?
Okay, so that's a two-part question. I'm going to let her answer the first part and then I'll come into mine.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, how we met. We met at a karaoke night. Raven was hosting. I was there with a few friends, and we ended up talking to each other at the bar. And I just was like, I'm going to know this person. I really felt this connection. It was easy and fun and conversational. And as she was leaving, she invited me to a house party she was throwing the following weekend. And at that moment in my mind, I was like, okay, but if I'm going to go to your house party, I'm going to have a date with you before. Like that was just the order of operations in my head. So she gave me her number. And then that week we went on a one-on-one date and ended up talking in true lesbian fashion. We talked for like 10 hours in the car. We didn't even leave the car. We just talked about everything. And I remember just being overwhelmed with our conversation and thinking, oh my gosh, it's incredible that I can talk to somebody about everything from show tunes and the entertainment industry to these deep traumas and this psychological stuff that also I really enjoy discussing. And we just hit all the boxes. And I knew at that moment, really was like, this is my person. Went to her house party. And then during this week of time, she was leaving to go do The View. So she was only in LA for about 2 weeks. And after her house party, she came and stayed with me for 4 days because her house was all packed up.
And crashed. My house was trash.
Yeah.
U-hauling.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Super.
Great.
Oh my gosh. Super U-hauling because over those 4 days, she was like, hey, if I were to buy you a ticket to New York to come on this camping trip with me and my friends, like, would you come? And I remember thinking, no, I won't because I don't really know you and I have a job and like life and
you're fine. Come on.
And literally that's what she said. And I ended up going. She got me a one-way ticket. That was end of August. I didn't come home until the 1st of October. And then I know we were terrible. And then I moved back to New York.
Terrible.
Just in terms of how fast we moved, I mean, it was crazy.
That's real slow. That's slow.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny you say that because every single holiday, birthday that Sophia's friends, like for her, it's always a U-Haul hat. It's always a U-Haul shirt. It's always like she dipped her pinky toe in and she was like, I am diving into this pool. I am done. Put a bow on it. Like, same thing. I was like, honey, I live in New York. You live in LA. She has not been back. She has not been back. She's like, I don't care. I'm done. I'm done. This is good. Ooh, honey, I've been searching my whole life for this. I'm going nowhere. Strap in.
Good for her.
Strap in and strap up.
Honey.
There you go.
I didn't mean to.
But yeah, it's magical when all of that aligns and and I just had to deal with, see, you're on board. Raven broke up with me and then I had to
She loved that. The question was how we met, not how we broke up.
Okay, sorry. My apologies.
Every time. The question is how we met, and now it's my turn to answer. But you told the whole story about how we met. So let me get into my section. So to answer your question about just privacy, my whole life I was really taught that you're not supposed to really share you're not supposed to share your private with your public because sometimes that can overshadow the work. I grew up in the time of, the National Enquirer and, People. And when relationships really did outshine people's product and content. So, multiple NDAs with a lot of people, met her and tried to get her to sign an NDA, reluctant, but did. And
It
then
was so sad to me. Sorry to interrupt you, but it was sad to me because it felt all of a sudden like this, and I understand it, but it felt like a business negotiation. It felt like something, and I was
isn't
like,
that what marriage is?
and I was
I'm
like,
just playing with you.
I love you. And at that point, that was such a foreign idea to me to have to kind of, I was also like, what do you think I would do if we were to break up? You think I'm going to go like run to some publisher and be like, let me give you a tell all? And I just, but that's not, it's so far from who I am. I couldn't,
Yeah.
and I do understand that.
A lot of people have done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people have lied on people and
Oh, 100%.
you know what I mean? And I just, my parents were very, very adamant about me protecting my life. And especially being gay, that was even more to me something that my parents didn't even know about. But for me, it was like, okay, at the time, this could be quote unquote dangerous to come out. Nobody should know this because the culture that I grew up in, it wasn't as open as it is now. So when we got married, I was still under the impression that we were going to be quiet. But I knew that when I did marry, before I met her, I knew that when I married, I would be more comfortable telling truths about my relationship because there is a contract that there are things that can be said, that things that can. It's not just a girlfriend or it's not just a boyfriend to where, you got to think about it a little bit longer before you leave me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and so, she was really gung ho for getting out there and doing lives with me and us sharing our relationship. And she made me feel comfortable. So, and it's fun to
Love
be able
that.
to just show what a lesbian marriage looks like, even though it just looks like a normal marriage. But I think that some people need to have certain titles to make it seem like, ooh, that's what you guys do. I'm like, yeah, we bicker and have a good time at the same time.
We're normal people. Welcome to the party, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that because you did grow up with the world watching, and when you look back, like what parts of that little girl have you worked so hard to protect and reclaim in this new identity of just being like so happy. You just seem so vibrant, so light. It's really you don't have to know you for that long just to see the way you're moving in the world.
Oh, thank you very much. Now that's a loaded question for
Okay.
me.
Sorry, I figure
You're
boom, right
fine.
off the top of the show. Let's go.
Listen, it's fine. It's fine. How would you? That's hard for me because
I think for you, it's an ongoing process.
yeah,
And what I've witnessed in Raven, let's say over the 10 plus years I've known her now, is the Raven that I met back in 2015 was extremely guarded. Even though she seemed so open to me, what I've realized now is there are such different pockets of who she is and how she maneuvers, how she expresses.
different identities.
Yeah, and she's a master of disassociation.
Dissociation. Remember, my therapist said it's not disassociation; it's dissociation.
Okay, she's a master of dissociation, and that was also a protection. That was a defense mechanism I put into place
Because of my childhood.
because of her childhood, for sure. But what I've seen you do and work on recently is letting that little girl actually have a voice, because I think she never had one. And I see you giving space for those little girl feelings to surface and show up. And then also you are able to better parent and love that part of you. I think that didn't get what she needed.
So to piggyback on that, to answer verbatim, what part of me am I protecting? I've protected the little girl and the middle school girl my whole life. Like they've always been in a box somewhere so that the industry or anyone around me couldn't touch them. And they were always banging on the door. Only recently have I remembered where I placed that key and allow. But there were so many different masks that got hit with all of the Hollywood BS over the years that the little girl was just like, what's happening? You know what I mean? So
I think it's really beautiful that you both, I mean, clearly you both do the work. I mean, very evident, but I think what's so beautiful and what I don't think people talk about enough is, and Sophia and I talk about this at length all the time, like she is such a beautiful human that has grown up in the public eye, and it has broken her in so many ways that she is highly anxious. She's cares way too much about what people think, and she's very, 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 very highly sensitive. And I don't weaponize that. I actually care for it. And I think, Miranda, that's exactly what you're saying. Like, she carries this history, and I imagine finding each other has been such a pivotal moment in both of your lives that you care for each other's scars in a way that is beautiful, where most people can weaponize. Most people are like, don't bring that baggage into this. Like, I don't, that's old. It's not my job to unpack it. But I actually highly disagree. I think we all are a work in progress, and we all have a lot of trauma and grief we carry. And I think the most beautiful relationships care for that in a very sacred way that helps them walk that life,
Mhm.
even though there's broken pieces of it. Would you agree?
You're so fantastic because I'm the person who's like, don't bring that baggage in here. What are you doing? Why didn't that get fixed with the last
Mhm.
relationship? We're adults. That's me. She's the
Mhm.
sweetheart. I'm the one like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Well, I
Yeah.
don't even think it's
I'm learning though.
she is learning. I don't even think it's like being a sweetheart or anything like that. I think it's really how you perceive and your relationships. And
Mhm.
I think what you're saying, Ashlyn, I really am aligned with, because I think that when people commit to each other, it is one of the most beautiful, life changing things you can do to give space for another person to show up as themselves truly. And we say
Mhm.
these things all the time, but I think to really understand that and really put it into practice is another story and another
Mhm.
conversation. And also understanding my belief that is in relationship is that we're really just mirroring each other, constantly mirroring each other, which means if I am triggered by Raven, it has way less to do with Raven than it has to do with me. And that discomfort for me is data. That's information for me to go
Mm.
into on my own time to figure out. But to have a partner who's also willing to sit by your side, hold your hand, be the stability, the love, the support that you might not have ever received, to be the home, if you will, for you to then be the adult version of yourself that might have to also play out the kid version of yourself, is the greatest gift we can, I think, give each other, because you're allowing someone the space to heal and become what I think is maybe the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And that's who could ask for anything more?
And I have listened to a lot of your interviews, and both of you do talk about having such an open line of communication and so much honesty in this like new version of who you are in your relationship. I know, Raven, you spoke about when Miranda, I don't know if it was something about, having separate bedrooms or having those hard kind of conversations. Where did it take time to get there?
She loves you right now. Let me just say that.
We're in therapy, if you didn't
She's
know.
just
It's not
you're
always
speaking
like
her
this.
love language, girl. And I'm just like, no. I will say that I will start it like this. I grew up in my house, she grew up in her house, and our parenting styles, our parents' parenting styles are extremely different. And with that extreme from both sides of the line, um, my harsh tone, aggressive nature, and right to the point conversation was probably a little bit harming at the beginning, because I grew up in a family where it's like, Go pick up the shoes. Okay, I did it. Great. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep going. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't oh, you did such a good job. That came when you did something excellent. And that informed me on how to be in relationships where it's just like, I need you to do that real quick. Thanks much. And they're like, well, not her, but other partners were like, well, do I get some love after it? I'm like, that's the shit you're supposed to do. I don't know what's going on. So working with her and mirroring her, I've learned how to be a little bit softer, a little bit, not as aggressive. But at the same time, all we have always told the truth to each other. We have always been in a relationship for the 10 hours that we met the first day where we just knew that talking was important. And I think after we got married, maybe it felt a little bit more like, um oh, okay, do I have to put on my soft gloves again, because this is not, for me, this is not something I can run away from. This is someone that's going to be with me forever. How do I then communicate the best way for her to understand? And there was a long time where it would be like, okay, how do I say this in order for you to understand my language, because we speak different languages, you know what I mean? And so I think that's a constant even today with the growth that we have had. I sometimes catch myself going back into my old way of, hey, could you do this real quick? And then forgetting, like, oh, sorry, babes. Love you. You did such a good job. I love you so much. Can you do this?
Yeah.
But I'm being extreme with it.
I think for me, what's been interesting is I came into almost every single relationship I've ever had with set ideas that are very much built from the heterosexual world, number one. And I also had a lot of fear around relationships because of my abandonment issues. So I understood that, and I made this commitment to myself as a little girl. I was like, I am not going to have what happened to my parents happen to me. And that meant get divorced or be in an unhappy relationship. And I know that sometimes divorce can actually be a positive thing for people, but I really had this clear idea that by the time I decided to get married, I was going to be really sure that I was with the right person I could build my life with. So unfortunately, I didn't really do the work before to position myself in a way where I was secure enough in myself to start building from that space. Because I think if I was secure in myself, those ideas, those fears wouldn't have been so all consuming. So I came into my relationship with Raven, or our marriage, with a lot of the same issues I had as a girlfriend, which were being abandoned, being not worthy, not lovable. If I wasn't validated consistently, then something was the matter. And that meant I had fucked something up and blah, blah, blah. So what I really had to learn was our relationship, like she said, language, and understanding, like specifically the separate bedroom thing. For me, you'd asked me that 3 years ago, I would have had the tape in my head that I've heard most people say, which is separate bedrooms, you're on the road to divorce. That's, oh my God, you're not having sex every night. Well, he's about to go and cheat on you. Don't, like, that was the tape in my head. And what I had to learn, and what Raven has helped me with so much, is no, it's okay that we like separate spaces. It's actually like helping us. That's helping us. And this is really all that matters, is what happens for us. You know what? If we can't have sex every night because that is exhausting for us, that's okay. Because when we do, it works for us. The comparing and contrasting that I was stuck in almost every avenue of my life, I'm very much that person. Oh my gosh, she's so much prettier than me. Oh my gosh, she's so much more fit. She's blah, blah, blah. That lived in my relation. Oh my gosh, that partner is posting all the time about this.
Oh my God, the posting, hilarious. If I didn't post for her birthday, she'd be like, you don't love me. I'm like, girl, I am up underneath your armpit at the worst times. I love you so much. If the internet doesn't know, then nobody cares about it.
But that's
It's like, I want to be in your skin, actually.
Yeah, like I don't want you on my Instagram. I need inside of your body.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the things I think that are really difficult when you're just a human being existing in this world, and we have as much messaging as we do, and have as many ideas telling us of how we should be, what we should look like, what our relationship should be like, how we should be exercising, eating. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So I think that when I boil it down, and we've boiled it down, it is about being really honest with each other, allowing uncomfortable things to happen. But all of those things can happen because we have built a really solid foundation. And when you know at a baseline that you're with someone who has got your back and you're safe with, then you can do the uncomfortable things.
One of the things that I used to say in the beginning of a relationship when like things got heightened and her anxiety and all of this stuff started to flare up, I'd be like, but I married you.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget that I married. Yeah, but you didn't say this. I'm like, but I married you. My problem in the relationship was that I was too confident. I had done so much work with all of my guys and females beforehand where I would sit there and be like, you need space to do what you need to do. I'll be here for you when you need the love that I can give you. And that's how I functioned. And with her, she needed a lot more. So I had to learn how to give her that. And more, what I mean is care and affection and love. And I had not had that prior to because I was just letting everybody calm themselves down. But she also needed that space to grow and to live. And then now we can come together and be like, you want to get the love that I want to give you at this stage in our life. It's nice.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you've both been really intentional about what you share and what you hold sacred. How do you decide what you plan to like share for the world on your podcast? Or this is just like, this is for us, babe. This is like our peace, our safety. This is our home.
I think that I can answer this question by saying when you have a connection with someone, there's a quiet communication. We don't have to talk about what we don't want to talk about because we know that we're not about to talk about that right now. One, it'll flare us up.
Yep.
Two, y'all don't need to know because it's just like, that's personal. We know what's personal. We know it's not. Quiet communication.
100%. There are so many moments on the podcast where we'll look at each other and we both just know the face and it's like, oh wait, are
Don't
you
do
going?
it.
But it's like, are you
doing
doing
that?
that right now? Are you gonna oh, we're doing this? Okay. And we know. I mean, they're just like you said, babe. I think there just are things we know that we will never need to discuss publicly. But
it took a minute. It took a minute to figure that
it took
part
a
out.
minute for me because I am such an open book.
Same.
And I came from a space of the more conversation, the better. The more that I can share stories about things that I've experienced, then more people can maybe potentially relate. Then there's a greater dialogue. And I have had to learn that that actually isn't true.
It's not true.
Sometimes I just feel like I've given way too much, opened up way too much. And especially now, publicly, you set yourself up for so much more criticism, so much more scrutiny, so many more opportunities to be misunderstood. And something I really admire about you, Ashlyn, and Sophia too, in listening to you two talk, you both are so eloquent. You're so well spoken and so intentional. And sometimes I've listened to you both and I'm like, fuck, I should have just said it like that. Like that. It was just so clean. And I have a lot of like,
You're fine.
So, yeah.
I do think it's, I can only share from my experience, and I'm the same way, Miranda. I like to overshare because when I share and I go on loop about things, it minimizes the big feeling I feel inside. So I have to talk about it, like my mental health journey, my addiction journey, my trauma as a child, the decision to leave my ex-wife. And I feel that it's important for me to talk about the things. Otherwise, Raven, I'm very similar. I became a master at completely being able to push things down and disassociate and
Dissociate.
There you go. And I want to share my scars with this younger generation. Like, I am imperfectly perfect in a lot of ways, and I am broken in a lot of ways. And like, I have to talk about these things. But I'm curious for you both, like, what has the public gotten wrong about you two that you've learned to just say, fuck it, I'm letting this go? There's nothing I can do to change what people think. And God, they have it really wrong, and that's unfortunate. Up.
Well,
Is this the look we're talking about?
This look was, go ahead, babe, the floor is yours, because you get a lot more hate than I do. I think, man, I think what I've experienced that's been really surprising is okay, when we got married, Raven kind of gave me a quick, this might be difficult. This might be difficult. And when one of the reasons that she broke up with me was because she wasn't ready to be with a white person. And I did not know that she was struggling with any of those feelings while we were dating, which made me sad when I found out, because I felt like I couldn't. Well, there's nothing I can do about
Yeah, what you about to do? Put on some makeup? You ain't about to do nothing.
there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about my whiteness, but I could have just been more aware of what my partner was going through and maybe supported her better through that in some way.
No.
Yeah, no. I think I've just been surprised by how many people, number one, hate me just because of what I look like, and the fact that we already
welcome to the party.
Yeah.
To America.
Yeah.
And that we are an interracial couple. Again, part of why I even wanted to and pitch the idea of a YouTube and having a platform together was because I was like, I don't see us anywhere. I see like Wanda Sykes and her wife, but really like everyone else that I see that might look like us it's like Bet and Tina. Like we need like real representation, we need a real couple. And so I get a lot of, I'm Raven's handler, I whitewash her, I'm a gold digger, I'm controlling,
Jesus.
I don't let Raven do anything by herself, I talk too much, I overtalk, I interrupt. I mean, the shit that I see and hear is overwhelming, and it's kind of a shame, because the truth of what's happening is we're a couple that's trying to like grow, thrive, create content that people may resonate with, might be entertained by. I'm also trying to, yeah, of course, step into my own strengths, find my voice more clearly in my work field. There are personal goals and growth that I'm also trying to achieve that everyone is entitled to. So I've tried to honestly let all of it go, Ashlyn, because the noise shouldn't impact me one way or another, whether it's positive or negative.
That's a new thought process. Let me jump in here real quick.
That's
a new thought process. Because when it did start, there was a little bit of a thing between us, because she was like, why aren't you saying this in the comments? Why aren't you saying this? And I'm like, I've been through so much shit when it comes to the comments and being hated from back in the day that I know the best thing to do is to delete the app and keep going. And when she started getting death threats,
that was different.
That was different. When she started getting death threats, I was like, you can literally not do anything.
Can I just tell you why I was getting death threats? The whole thing started because I was asked on Kiki Palmer's podcast by Kiki if I watched That's So Raven growing up as a kid. And I said, no, I didn't actually. I've seen all of it since we've been together. I love it. I think the show's fantastic, but I didn't watch it growing up. And the
internet world went crazy.
Oof.
And so I'm used to dissociating and putting it away, because you're not who I speak to at Starbucks. And if you are, I dare you to say something to my face. So there was a moment where I had to speak up. But, being from the generation that a comment is the end all be all, or if somebody comments or doesn't like a picture, you're not popular, the world is ending. I'm not from that generation. I don't care. I love it. Thanks so much. But what matters is if these suits on the 21st floor hire me and I do my job. That's what matters. Yeah. And so now my wife is really starting to understand that. And I remember saying to her, I'm like, did that prevent you from having these 5 pitch meetings and selling a show? Did that comment change anything in your life other than your mental state because you read it and you think that someone's coming after you?
She said, did the Amazon packages stop being delivered?
Oh, I'm obsessed.
Did it stop?
I was like, no, that's true.
Yeah. Is it fucking with your money?
Period.
Period. But I turned my comments. What you need to know about me, besides I'm head to toe tattoos and I look a certain way, I am a gentle, soft, squishy teddy bear. I had to turn my fucking comments off. I'll never open those things back up. Nope.
You can't
Good for
do it.
you.
It's
Good for
another
I can't.
it's another part of the game that we don't have to play. That gives them a chance to interact. And
Mhm.
if you allow those comments to interact with you, you're not being your best self. You know, that's another form of bullying, but those people get excitement from it. So I'm from the mindset, and I told her, I was like, the more haters you have, the more clout you have. Let them hate. I don't care. But it's about how you interact with that hate that matters.
One of the craziest things, though, when it comes to headlines or videos that I ever saw, and I showed this to Raven, somebody made like a news report
Oh my God.
video that was like on TikTok about us having a public fight in a restaurant. And the quote was,
Oh my
Raven-Symoné storms out of restaurant and yells to wife, "Stop talking to me that way. I'm not your slave." And literally, then like in the thing, it's like
Those AI generated
it's like
videos.
Miranda was yelling at Raven. Raven threw glass of water. Like this whole explanation of this fight that we had at a restaurant we've never been to in our lives. Like that was comical.
But again, that's the AI generated content because hate brings eyes.
Clicks,
It brings
clicks,
clicks.
clicks. No one's out here being like, "Oh, the greatest love story of all time."
Only J-Lo.
Nothing.
Only J-Lo
Well.
did that.
That's so rude. Poor J-Lo. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Bless.
Oh my God.
You really that was a hit it out of the park
I mean,
with
it
that
was there.
one.
You guys gave it to me.
I really teed you up for that.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was really funny. Actually, I just feel bad. Poor J-Lo.
I will say this, Raven. I saw a birthday message that you recently put up, and you were like, "I want you to live forever, like a million years." Like you were being so sweet and so kind, and it's interesting because um, Sophia and I say this all the time. I want you to live forever, and I'm curious. I want you to elaborate a little more on it because I do think it has taken so much for all of us to get to where we are right now and the way we move in the world and how we show up for ourselves and our partners and the safety and like the love that we feel in these sacred spaces. I can only say like I'm so at peace. Time is one thing money can't buy, and it's so unpredicted, and I want to live in this happiness and this peace forever and ever and ever because I'm finally getting what I saw on movies that I always was like, oh, that shit doesn't exist in real life. And I'm like living it. And I can't, selfishly, I just want more. I want more. I want more. I want more. And I'm wondering if you said that because you resonate with it and you feel that finally getting that type of love you've always wanted. Like, do we share that together or am I getting like emotionally deep and like, nah, girl?
Ashlyn, you said it perfectly. However, the reason I did that was because my wife really likes Instagram posts for her birthday. So I have to put something out there. No, I'm just playing. But not
She's
really.
always has to be a little bit of a dick.
That's my shtick.
That's her shtick. I'm the
That
straight
shows
guy.
that shows a healthy sign of a relationship, let me tell you.
Look,
Yeah.
cause honey, I said it for a couple of reasons. I'm going to tell the truth and then I'm going to tell the deeper subconscious one. The truth is my wife has health anxiety and I really want to make sure she knows that she is not leaving this planet before me. She always says I have to leave first. I'm like, that's not happening.
No.
I'm staying longer than you. And you're healthy.
I'm super healthy.
I know you are.
My health anxiety is so much better.
I know, but
Don't even
I
say
haven't.
that.
The last time I posted, that's what it was from.
My birthday in August.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just got their Pilates instructor. In a great way. She's a Pilates genius.
Whatever.
And then the other side of it is I agree with everything that you just said, Ashlyn. I actually had this I'm doing a documentary about I'm not doing it. Robin Roberts is doing a documentary about my life. And
Aw.
I had the conversation just yesterday about how I'm just regurgitating what you said, but growing up in Atlanta and working for as long as I have in the industry, only having Ellen DeGeneres and barely Paula Poundstone and secretly Whitney Houston. There were no, and Chaz Bono. That was a plus. But
Yep.
there were no signs that the life that I'm living right now was actually possible. What I thought was going to happen was that I was going to marry a man and I was going to buy two houses, one that he lives in and then one that my woman lives in. And I was just going to go between the two houses. If somebody needed to take a picture, I'd be with him. But then he knew that he can do whatever he wanted to. And I was going to, like, I planned that shit out. I had multiple
Wow.
properties. It was just how it was going to be. And yesterday, when I was talking to one of the producers at the doc, I was saying that I'm literally in a dream state to where if this, like, it's kind of unhealthy because it hasn't saturated in my skin yet. It still feels like some days I have to wake up and be like, yo, I got married, period, to a woman. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm out here talking about it and people like see me for it. Some days it doesn't click in. It doesn't sink in. Some days I'm in it fully and I'm like, yeah, let's look at this beautiful moment. And then some days I'm like, do people know? But that's my own personal mental sickness. But it's true. It's like I want her to thrive past life. You know what I mean? Like I want her soul to be so happy this go round that when she's in her next soul, she doesn't think that she was tortured in a castle. And then she can that's another conversation, that she can live so peacefully now because I know my wife's history and I want her to be happy. So yeah, and a lot of the times I write those messages and I'm like, what are the things that I don't say out loud enough? Because I was raised by guys, so my verbal love and communication is a little different. You know what I mean?
No, I feel that. I
What?
get the comment often when I'm getting too serious or too specific and too direct. It's, sweetheart, we're not in the locker room. Please do not talk to me like I'm your teammate.
Yeah.
I'm a different kind of teammate.
Yeah.
And then
have
I'm
to-
like, I got it. I'm in. I'm dialed.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And that's a good reminder. And I think that that's also a good way to maybe communicate. Like, I could be a better communicator in those moments, instead of just saying, don't talk to me that way, or I don't like that, to be like, I'm not a kid on a set that you're directing right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember who I am.
Say that.
Yeah. And that'll click in.
And I'll say that to you too.
This has been such good therapy.
Look, I'll say that to you
Well,
too.
I think you're welcome, and I'm for free.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
It's
It's
crazy.
accessible here.
Truly. We're gonna have to do this weekly, I guess.
So what's next for you both? I mean, you're the best, and you're both highly successful and super creative. And I know you're starting. Did you start already the production company?
Yes,
together?
we started it. We are
I
currently.
see pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at me go.
I know.
Okay,
Good
researchers.
Yeah.
I don't miss any.
Yeah.
Ow.
Wow.
We are currently in the process of pitching, creating, and aligning with a lot of different podcos and constantly just moving forward. But the baby that is now a toddler, I think we can say now, that we feed most formula to is the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, tea time.
Breast milk or formula?
Oh, I don't know.
Tea.
Maybe we're on solids now. Tea time is really my baby. This is true. And I really put a lot of attention and energy into it. But also, I mean, we have some great projects in our production company. Raven, you have so much going on, babes.
I know I have so much going on. I'm writing a book. I'm writing my
Oh,
memoir.
wow.
The doc that I talked about a little bit earlier.
Yes.
A few things. And, for those in the industry who know, when you create something and try to sell it, that's such a slow process.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So that's why there hasn't really been a big hit, because we also want to make sure that we come out with the right project and we align with the right people. And the industry right now in the buying field is so good old boys, buddy.
And you and Sophia were just on a set together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shadowing Debbie Allen. I was shadowing Debbie Allen and multiple directors over at Gray's. Super sweet.
Such a
And
good group too. God, they're just great people over there.
they work like a machine. I really want to try my hand at directing a
for you.
procedure like that.
Yeah.
But I'm doing a movie, I'm producing a movie, I'm in some, and yeah, we're constantly, listen, we gotta work, you know what I mean? We gotta
Listen,
work.
I feel that in my bones. I mean, it's like around the clock all the time now. What do you do though when it's just you two? Like what fills your cup up these days, especially with like how heavy things are and how how much you both work and how public you are. Like what's just for the both of you?
Massages.
We love going to get massages.
Yes.
I honestly just love a slow day with you. Like this past weekend, we had a few errands to run, but we were driving by we passed a little farmer's market and we just spontaneously stopped and popped in, and then we ran the rest of our little errands and we just hung out at home the rest of the day, made some food, talked, watched TV. I think we got massages. Like though those days where there's just kind of nothing but us and we can just hang and talk and reconnect are my faves. Raven is a painter and I love it. Yeah, she's amazing. And she'll sometimes sneak away into the back house and paint. And I love just like going back there with her and either watching her work or doing a little something myself.
We will binge a show though. We like no matter what, at 8 o'clock, not all phones, but most phones are gone. And we are consuming content. YouTube, HBO, who like we
What's the
watch
latest?
everything.
What's the latest we're into?
Okay, so we finished The Diplomat, we finished Task. Last night, just for the hell of it, we watched Don't Say a Word. Michael Douglas and Brittany Murphy.
Such a good movie.
From 2000 and what was it?
2002.
Which is crazy.
Fantastic. We're on Searching Sister Wife.
Oh,
I finished Poldark, but we haven't finished Wayward. But
No.
we're almost done with that.
Yeah.
So you jump around. You don't stay consistent.
Oh no, we don't like. I'll binge a show. Like I'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and watch the stuff that she doesn't like.
We watch so this is a mixture of reality. This is a mixture of obviously scripted. Then we'll go back in the catalog just for fun. But we both, like I said earlier in this conversation, we can talk about the entertainment industry and movies and film. And I think that that's very much me living out my relationship with my dad because my father was in the industry and the majority of my conversation, the only thing that I could connect with him on was TV, movies, and the industry. So when we get into that loop together, it's great because we're like picking things apart. Why did they do that? Oh, it's so well written. How did they shoot that? Oh my gosh, we'll rewind, rewatch, figure it out. The delivery, it's very rare too that we watch something that we get so sucked into that we're not analyzing it and breaking it down.
So what I want to do, by the way, is just end with a few. Let's end on a light note. So I'm going to ask just a few rapid fire things. You can be truthful, you can be light, you can say get the fuck out of here. I'm not answering that. You're wild. But yeah, and then we'll end the show on a light note as we've been dropping, dimes on couples therapy.
Love it.
Done.
All right. Who made the first move?
You opened a fucking whole bag of worms.
I know. We fight about this all the time because we can't agree. Oh, but
don't stop.
Okay, it was me.
Okay, who's the one that usually starts the fight? The argument.
Again, another can of worms because here's why. Before she answers, because it's about tone. And it's about that one little word that switches that the person who actually starts the fight doesn't know they started it because then you trigger. So I'm a reactor and she is also a reactor.
It's 50-50.
It's 50-50.
All right, deal. Favorite time to get freaky? Are you sunrise or nighttime?
Nighttime.
Morning.
Woo! Who's the big spoon?
She wants to be so bad and I hate it and I let her get it sometimes, but I like it more.
Yeah.
I love it. If your sex life was like a title, like a movie title, what would it be?
This is so fucked up.
I love it. I love it.
So ridiculous.
I've
never done it.
Okay, a movie title. This is fun.
Give us a second.
Yeah.
Okay. This is so good. The writer of the group. Come on, director.
Yeah. Listen, the things in my head are ridiculous. I'm gonna say do a Nancy Meyers movie.
A Nancy Meyers movie? It's complicated.
That's great.
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction. Don't say a word. Don't say
Okay.
a word I like.
Perfect. Lights
She
on or
always
off?
cries at the end.
Come
Lights on or off? Lights on or off?
Oh,
Off.
I like an ambient.
Oh my God, Sophia does too. She's like, girl, I'm like, turn these fucking lights off. And she's like, I want to see you.
No,
I only want to see her, and I don't want her to see me. So I don't know how to make that work.
And I like it dark, but if we have to have a light, then it needs to be like a warm,
Beautiful.
orange,
Yeah.
amber.
I'm sexy. We're keeping it sexy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
Okay.
a fireplace.
Which queer stereotype do you absolutely live up to?
The soft butch.
I mean, the U-hauling of it all.
That's true.
We totally did that.
We created.
love that.
We reinvented it on a whole new level.
I love it. Do you have a queer celebrity crush?
No, I have a straight celebrity crush.
Ooh, okay.
Look, that's a stereotype of lesbian.
Yeah.
There we go.
Always loves a straight girl. Yeah, I mean, we do.
Tell
We
me
have to
who. Tell me who. Come on, drop those bombs.
Okay, so I can't remember her name, but the younger sister from the show Vita, which is a great show, also a queer show. I think she's canceled though. So. She's gonna be just tell her.
I'm really thinking.
Tell her the true one. She doesn't have a queer crush on a queer person.
That's
she has
all right.
a crush on a guy.
Well,
it's consistent.
I just think that Charlie Hunnam is like just beautiful. We saw him in an airport. He made my knee like bend a little bit.
You were like, you got those wonky ass knees.
Yeah, but he knows. He looked at me and he winked. Like he literally fucking knows the power that he wields. And I was just like, you're an asshole. But I mean, there's definitely the one that I really want to say that existed for a long time. She's so insane right now. I'm kind of like,
I just said one that was canceled. It doesn't.
Okay,
you have to match the.
I could totally do it as like Bette Porter. That character was
okay.
I was obsessed with Bette Porter.
Give me Bette
Porter.
Yeah,
we just saw her recently at an event.
She still looks
Jennifer
great.
Beals, and she looks like Bette Porter.
I love that. If you were trapped on a desert island and you can only bring one queer essential, what would it be?
One queer essential.
We're talking glitter, lube, Indigo Girls, soundtrack. Like, I don't know. You pick.
Hilarious. I'm going to be really honest. I'm bringing sunblock. I don't know if that's queer or straight. That's
straight.
That's some straight shit that I love.
Yeah, guys, I have to bring it. Okay,
no,
I would be like chapstick. You know, I need fucking chapstick.
That's queer.
I would bring chapstick too.
I'm bringing my pocket pleasure.
Hey, baby!
You're straight?
No, not that one.
I love it. Well, listen, you both are a dream. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us, and we hope you come on ours.
I would love that. You're never getting rid of me. This is the way it works. We're fast friends. Friends U-Haul too. So I'll be in LA in 2 weeks, and I'll be. Hello, she's home.
The dog thinks you're here.
Exactly.
I hope that you're serious. Hold on. Quinn.
It's okay. I opened it. I really opened the door there.
Come here, Quinn. Up.
Come
I really
here,
hope that
sugar.
you're serious. I really hope that you're serious because we need
lesbian friends.
Oh,
desperate.
Listen,
really hard.
I am in. Well, it's so good to see you both. Thank you so much for coming on Wide Open. And thank you for being so real and honest and continuing to show up and move the needle in our community. It's really beautiful to watch and to see. So thank you both. And everyone, thanks for tuning into Wide Open.
Thank you.
Raven and Miranda, thank you for showing us that love can be playful, grounded, and deeply spiritual all at once. The kind of love that feels earned, the kind that comes when you've done the work and you actually know yourself. What you've built together is proof that timing is everything, that sometimes we don't find love we deserve until we finally are ready to receive it. You've reminded me and everyone listening that the most beautiful thing about love isn't in the perfection, it's in the choosing choosing each other, choosing joy, choosing forever, even when forever isn't promised. I love you both dearly, and thank you for coming on Wide Open. We'll see you next week.